Hello and welcome back to my mini series about moving to India. My name is Prerna. First of all, thank you so much for giving me your support for the previous two videos. This is the third video in the series, and if you have not watched the previous two videos, I would urge you to go watch those before jumping onto this one directly. If you are here after watching those two videos, stay tuned. Alright, the decision to move back, check. Do a few things before moving back, check. Plan a trip to India to test the waters? Well, that's what we are going to talk about in this video. As I've mentioned in the previous video, we decided to move to India in spring or summer of 2019. So before making the final move, we made a pre-planning trip to India in January of 2019. We had to plan meticulously about what we wanted to do in the imminent trip to India. Honestly, this involved a little bit of planning and research and creating checklists so we cover everything. To make this video easier to understand, I am going to divide it into three parts: pre-trip planning, the actual trip, post-trip updates. We had to prep on three important fronts in no particular order: the kids' school, my job, and my husband's job. Let's begin with the kids first. Of course, the preparation for kids involved finding a good school for them. This needed quite some research. How did I do that? Firstly, the RTI group that I mentioned in the last video was super helpful. If you don't know what an RTI group is, you need to stop watching this video right now and go watch my previous video. Secondly, I used everybody's dear friend Google for some school names and asked for recommendations from my friends. Thirdly, if the schools were based on some philosophies, I skimmed through the internet to read and learn more about those philosophies. We zeroed in on 2 to 3 schools that we wanted to visit during our India trip and learn more about them. And we kept a couple of schools, 1 or 2 schools that were plan B. We kept them as options. We had heard that यहाँ तो admission मिल ही जाता है. You move any time of the year, यहाँ तो admission मिल ही जाता है. So this was the planning required for the kids. Regarding the preparation for me, we knew that the move to India was going to be a massive change for the kids. So I volunteered to stay home with the kids until they settled. I knew that I did not want to pursue my career in IT after moving back. As I've mentioned before, I am more inclined towards the performing arts and I contemplated pursuing that again. Keeping that in mind, I made a list of friends and mentors and acquaintances that I would meet during my trip to India and hear about their journeys and get tips from them about finding opportunities in this field. My husband, of course, also had his network to reconnect with, and he also enlisted people that he would meet during the trip. Apart from these three aspects, we also planned to meet with friends in India, and not from a visiting NRI friend perspective, who come visit for a few days, bring gifts, enjoy the attention, have fun, go back, but to get a real localized scoop of their experience in living in India, life in Pune, lifestyle in Pune, their experience with schools and life in general in India. Also, we decided to meet with senior RTIs, meaning returnees to India, who had moved in the recent years and listen to their journeys and their experiences with life in schools and their whole experience in general. These were all the pre-trip planning. Now let's move on and see how things panned out during the actual trip. During our trip to India, we did visit a couple of schools, met the available teachers, attended open houses, inquired about admission forms and admission due dates, etc. Now, remember the schools we had kept as option B? These were ICSE, CBSE board schools. Well, we also visited one of those schools and something quite interesting happened there. Long story short, after that experience and after talking to a few local friends, we concluded that the board really doesn't matter to us, and instead of seeking admission in a particular board, we would rather enroll our kids in a school with good teachers irrespective of the board. Anyway, while we were growing up, we didn't have many boards, at least where we grew up. We had the SSC board, the state board, and we turned out okay. We caught up on things that we didn't learn in school or which were not taught in school, and we did okay. And of course, these were our thoughts, and all parents don't have to resonate with these. Everybody should do what's best for them and their kids. But these were our thoughts, and this is what we concluded. But to sum it up, we loved one of the schools that we visited during a trip to India. Luckily, we were able to attend their open house, which was organized during the same time frame when we were in India. So we got to meet some of their teachers, and we filled up their admission form and submitted it before we left India. For me, as decided, I checked in with a few of my artist friends and got great guidance from them. My husband met people to understand the change in work culture over the years. In short, things moved quite fast during a trip to India. We heard great things and great responses from our friends who lived in Pune about schools and life in Pune. We also heard promising experiences from returnees to India. Since we had some additional time, we also decided to make a list of things we would bring back from the US. Just for fun, we explored stores like the furniture stores, electronic appliances stores, and home decor and home furnishing stores to see what is available in India and to check out the quality. Like for example, televisions are quite costly in India. If you take the cost of the television, add 35% customs duty to it and the packaging cost, it is still cheaper to buy the same television in the US by a great margin. So that was a little research that my husband did. This is how our trip to India panned out and helped us in finalizing our decision. Of course, everything was not a rosy picture. We also observed that there's air pollution and noise pollution, and the state of the roads, especially the internal city roads, was quite bad. We knew that we will have to adjust to these things, but these were not deterrents to us in any way. These were inconveniences we would have to get used to over time. After coming back to the US, my husband talked to his employer about getting an intercompany transfer to India. Luckily, they were quite open to that idea. Cherry on top, my son's school admission was also confirmed. So two most important items on our list were sorted. Wow, those were a lot of things for us to handle. And honestly, checklists helped us in making our trip more fruitful. Also, there was family to help take care of the kids while we were outside the house taking care of other things. After the trip, even though we were back to the US, in our minds we had already moved to India. What was remaining now was the actual move. So in the next video, let's talk about packing to move over 8,000 miles from the US to India. Thank you so much for lending me your patient ear. As always, if there's any feedback or comments, please feel free to share with me. Thank you so much, and you have a great day. See you next time.